karmaṇyevādhikāraste mā phaleṣhu kadāchana mā karma-phala-heturbhūḥ mā te saṅgo'stvakarmaṇi. This is one of the most famous and most quoted and almost like the summary of the entire Gita also. Now, translations on the net, when you look for it, they have a certain way that they translate this, and let me just show you some. And these are from pretty much any website, including some nondescript, very famous ones, and how they translate this one. You have the right to prescribe the duties only, but never with the results. So you have no rights on the result. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of the action. You have only the right to work, but not on the fruits thereof. You have a right to perform your prescribed duties, so this is copy-paste. You are entitled to doing your duty alone with no reference to its outcome. You have the right to work only, but never to its fruit. Your right is to perform. And then this one, without taking names, this is one of the very, very important sites, work, person, whatever. There also it is, you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. This actually is not correct, and this would not sit well with any right-thinking person as to why should this be. When I was in the US, any bookstore that I would go, I would look for like Barnes and Nobles or whichever one, and then look for any different versions of Gita and in English. And then I would look for this, like what are they saying for this? And every one of them would say, you have the right to perform your duty, but no rights on the fruits. So why that has happened is a different story. I have a theory for that, the word adhikāra, and then I'll explain that in the next slide. But this is also, one is that adhikāra is considered as right when they translate that, but adhikāra actually means control. And right is a derived meaning from control. The other could be overplaying the spiritual aspect and underplaying the practical aspect of Indian wisdom is an inner urge almost amongst every person. Every person. There is only spiritual stuff in India and there is no practical stuff in the Indian wisdom, which is an extremely wrong image to have. It's more like a lost in translation, but this small mistake proves very costly to someone who is new to this and something one can never reconcile with, living in a material world with actions and reactions, crime and punishment. Why would it be that I can work, but I cannot get the fruits of it? Would you like to work for a company that doesn't pay you? I mean, you don't call it a job, right? And if it is a legal company, they would have a problem with the tax authorities for not paying you for working, right? So any self-respecting, hardworking person would abhor such a philosophy that says you can only work, but sorry, you cannot get any fruits. But there's a bigger problem as well, and we'll see that also. So here are some points to note in this shlok. Karmaṇyevādhikāraste, normally the way it goes is you have adhikar in karma, but not in the phala. Ma phaleṣhu kadāchana. Don't be an agent of doing and don't be idle. Now let's go in each of these 4 points in slight detail. So karmaṇyevādhikāraste, you can only control what karma to do. Now the choice is yours, what karma you want to do. And here adhikāra word is controlled, not the right. Once you do the karma, the wheels are in motion, right? And the consequences will come. Now, karmani is singular in one karma, right? Why is it singular? Because anything of any consequence, of any importance, such a project you can only do one at a time. I'm not talking about listening to music while jogging, that's not very consequential. But you cannot do two important things at the same time. Multitasking is a myth, by the way. So, adhikāra means control. It does not mean just the right. It means right by extension. If you can control it, you have the right, right? And why it is this? Because the word itself, adhi+kṛi, means to take under you. So basically to take control of, to undertake, right? That's exactly what it means. So if you can control it, it's your right. Else, it is up to the other who has the control over it, whether they give it to you or not. So you cannot say, oh, it's my right, give it to me. Well, if you can control only, then it is your right. It was true then, it is true now. World politics is a very clear example of it. We all love a fair world and a democratic values and whatnot, but the end game, might is the only right. Now, you as a human have the choice. Animals work on their instincts. Not much of a choice they have, so to speak. You know, they are just driven by their so-called animal instincts, right? Trees cannot do anything but just give. Those in heaven are enjoying the fruits of their past good deeds. And those in hell are suffering the fruits of their past bad deeds. And time to time, they too come down to earth or come up to earth. But only humans have the present choice of undertaking a karma or not, the free will, so to speak, right? You have a choice whether you want to do this or not do this. phaleṣhu. Now, in respect to the result or fruit, it says phaleṣhu, which is plural. Why karma is singular and phala is plural? Because any important action can actually give multiple fruits, multiple, one result and a lot of side effects, or so to speak, right? So one action can actually give multiple fruits. But it says, ma phaleṣhu kadāchana. You don't have any control on the fruits of the karma. Once you have done the karma, the effects will be coming. The result will be coming. If adhikāra was meant to be right, then one can say that I will not get the fruits of my bad karma also. So you can do all the crime you want, all the bad deeds you want, and no punishment. So crime and punishment would be crime and no punishment, right? So it is not right, it is control. That's what it means. The fruit will come. Don't worry about that. Ma karma-phala-heturbhūḥ. Ma karma-phala-heturbhūḥ. Karma-phala-heturbhūḥ. Karma is the karma, phala is the result, fruit of it, and hetu is the instrument to it. So the agent to bringing about the phala of the karma. So I am instrumental in bringing this about. So some people, will say, oh, I am nobody, I'm just a small person, nothing, just God's grace. So they will be very, very humble. They'll come up as very, very humble. And even we might sometimes say that, or feel that, oh, I'm nobody, just it's God's grace. But in that one little thing, it's God's grace, is a small tinge of ego that I am so special. God chose me to give this extra grace so that I'm so beautiful, I'm so smart, I'm so wealthy, I can help so many people, whatever that might be. You are the agent to bring about this fruit. That thought itself causes an ego, an attachment, a little pride, so to speak. And then we are attaching ourselves to being special, because that pride and attachment also clouds your thought. And then it says, mate saṅgo'stvakarmaṇi. Akarmani is not doing anything, idleness. So it says, may you not have the company of idleness. That means, may you not be attached to idleness. So here, you might be thinking, okay, first you told me, you have no control over the results. Basically, don't worry about the results. It will come. Just choose whichever action you want to choose. Then you're saying, don't even think that you are the agent or you're the doer. Don't expect anything. What is this? So maybe I'll just not do anything. I'll just sit. No actions, no results, no tension, no nothing. I'll do nothing, right? So you simply feel like not doing, so no results, and that might be the solution out of it. But even this inaction, this idleness, you are getting attached to. The pleasure of idleness, of vegetating, couch potato, of doing nothing, that itself is a pleasure, and it is a tamasic pleasure. It's not a good pleasure that will bring you up or grow you. It will just take you down, down, down. And when we start liking it, we are again having attachment. And this tamasic attachment takes us from bad to worse. right? You can do some binging, binge watching, or binge eating, or binge drinking, or whatever you are doing. You just keep doing that and nothing else. Meaning like nothing substantial you're doing. I'm not saying that, you stop breathing. Some karma we'll always be doing. But this is about some substantial karma, right? So even that is not an option, because you have to do something. Your inner nature will make you do something. When Arjun, the Gita was, is a question answer session, so to speak, was recited right before the big war, right? And when Arjun sees his cousins and gurus and relatives and friends and all, and he says that he doesn't want to fight. So that's the whole reason the whole sermon of Gita is given, the Upadesha of Gita is given, right? So he says he doesn't want to fight. He considers it better to just beg and live than to kill his own cousins, no matter how evil they are. And the whole backdrop of this is that, there's unreconcilable differences between them, and their cousins took away their kingdom. So it is a major injustice. And being a warrior, that was the biggest injustice, that he should be fighting. So Krishna tells him that you decided to go to battle with a cool-headed thinking. You're not rushed at that time. Your thinking was not clouded. You had a lot of time to decide. And you said, yes, we will go to war. We will fight it out for our justice. And now, under this misguided pitifulness, oh, I'm going to kill my own relatives. Well, you knew that you're going to war with these relatives. What happens in war? You would have killed. So now, because of this misguided pitifulness, you want to beg instead of fight. But sooner or later, your inner nature of a warrior, Kshatriya, will force you to do the karma. And what kind of karma does a Kshatriya do? Brings in justice, dharma. He protects dharma. That means he brings justice. And this current injustice that has been done, which has brought you here, that is not going to go away if you just walk away from this battle. So you'll again, whenever you will think, you will say, injustice was done, I need to correct it. So your inner nature will not let you sit doing nothing about this. You will be doing the karma. So our nature will force us to do karma. Then why not let it be good karma, selfless karma, for the greater good karma? I mean, this does not mean that, we don't do karma for our own sake also. Obviously, we have to live and, take care of our people, and you should prosper also. Even after retirement, many people suddenly don't have anything to do. And they feel great for a month or so. I have nothing to do. I'm the master of my day or whatever. No timetables, nothing. But after a few months of idleness, they feel miserable. Those with some hobby or purpose in life keep doing, maybe not a 9-to-5 job, but some activities, social work, hobby, side projects. The mind cannot be idle. It wants to do something all the time, right? Even if you're binging, as I said, after some time you'll just get up and say, okay, let's do something else. So what is your nature, your inclination? You will do that. So don't shy away from doing karma. Choose the karma according to your inclination, according to your role, and according to your stage in life and role in society and whatever. But you will have to walk the tightrope of doing it with no attachment. Why no attachment? If you do the karma, you will get the result. So when you want some result, you'll say, oh, I want this result. This is the karma I need to do to get the result. Once you've decided that, you do the karma, don't worry, the result will come. There need not be any attachment. The moment you have attachment, you start worrying about the results, you will impact the karma itself and you will not do properly. So if you keep worrying that I'll fail, your karma will get affected and it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You will actually fail then. If you just keep worrying about that rather than preparing properly. So in all of this, it's not the money, power, things that is the problem. It is the attachment to them that is the problem. So you have control only on the karma you choose to do. You have no control on the results. They are bound to come. They will come. Don't consider yourself the instrument of karma-phala, and neither be in the company of idleness. So basically, you should work selflessly, without pride, and don't sit idle. So it's not that you have no rights on the results. You surely have rights, and that actually, philosophically, that is considered the problem, that those karma-phala will come and get attached to you. And how do you get rid of that? That is the whole philosophical discussion.